Buddhang 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 Vande Dhammang 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 Vande Sanghang 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 Vande Buddhang Dhammang Sanghang Vande Samanta Cakkavalesu Atra Gaccantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajatte Sunantu Sagga Mokkhadan Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayam Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Sabba Pāpassa Akaranam Kusalassa Upasampada Sahinta Pariyodapalam Etam Buddhana Sasananti. Homage to the Blessed One, homage to the teachings of the Dhamma, homage to the noble Sangha, homage to the Triple. The members of the Mahasangha, friends in Dhamma, all of you gathered here today for a special meritorious act. In this new place, you are going to be happy. I think this moment is very special. According to the history of the illustrious Buddhist Vihara, this is the remarkable moment. And also as devotees, you can be happy in this new place. And also the illustrious Buddhist Vihara, the first Sri Lankan Buddhist temple in California, is ready to come to a new place here. First of all, I would like to introduce this place in short. I remember the day that we saw this place first time. On that day, Dr. Walter Jensen also came here. When he saw this place first time, what did he say? He said that this is a nice place. However, we buy this place today itself. How much they ask, no matter, we buy this place. I think his dream may be succeeded in this moment. And also, most of you have helped, contributed to this very special meritorious act. Buddha says, Soja Sampatado Hoti Yodadadu Vasyam. He who offers the residence place for the triple hymn offers everything. He who offers the residence for the monk, he offers everything. Among the meritorious deeds in the mundane level, would explain if someone can offer a place to continue the triple hymn, that's a great meritorious deed. Under this roof, if anyone does a meritorious act, that merit goes to you too. Not only in our this life, as millionaire Ananta Hindika said. After he passed away, he came to the Jetvanarami at night in his side. He said, Idam Kitan Jetvanam, Isi Sangani Sevitam, Avuthan Dhammagaru, Peace Sanjaranam. I am so happy seeing the place with the Supreme Buddha and his noble disciples. As a divine being, he came back to the Jetvanarama. When he offered Jetvanarama to the Supreme Buddha, how much did he spend? He spent, 540 million golden coins. That's the very great devotion in the Buddha Sasana. At the same time, Bibisara offered Vedvanarami at the first time to the Buddha Sasana. And also Visakha Upasika, she offered Purvarama. And also Sakyam, Buddha's relatives, they offered at the temple, Nigrodharami. Buddha has dedicated his entire life for the Buddhahood. Not only a few years, but Sarasankhyakalaksa, in the samsaric journey, he had dedicated everything that he had. In the Buddhist history, it says, So Sagare Jalavitam Rudiram Adasi. He offered his blood more than the quantity of the ocean, the water of ocean. And also he has offered his head with crown for wishing the Buddhahood in the samsaric journey, more than the weighing of the measure of the mountain of Mahameru, the Buddha. And also he has offered flesh wishing the Buddhahood in the samsaric journey, more than the measure of the earth. And also he has offered ice in the samsaric journey, wishing the Buddhahood more than the quantity of the stars in the sky. After that, some of the Buddha's disciples dedicated their entire life for more than 26 years for contribution for the longitude, the distances of the Buddha. That is why we have received this valuable message. Especially, in Buddha's time, Buddha explained his Dhamma only for 45 years. After that, Buddha's noble disciples gave this message in their hands. And also they practiced Dhamma, they protected Dhamma, they brought this valuable supreme truth from generation to generation. That is why we receive this kind of valuable supreme truth. And also, in the time of the Empire of Ashoka, I think you have heard how many temples that he offered to the Sasana. He built 84 Buddhist temples everywhere in India. And also he offered everything in the same day. That was a great merit. And after Buddhism came to Sri Lanka, with the disciples of the Arahant mind, then our forefathers in Sri Lanka, they understood their responsibility. And also our forefathers offered everything for the longevity of the Buddha Sasana. Not only that, our kings in Sri Lanka, they donated entire island 3 times for the longevity of the dispensation of the Buddha. Not only that, our forefathers donated their best child for the Sasana, for the longevity of the dispensation of the Buddha. Having this responsibility, they learned Buddhism, they practiced Buddhism, they protected Buddhism, they brought this message from generation to generation. And especially Sri Lankan monks, they wrote this message in palm leaves. After 440 years Buddha passed away, everywhere in the world. If we can see the early Buddhism in everywhere in the world, that is the service of Sri Lankan Buddhist monks. If they didn't do this duty, we haven't known the early Buddhism in the world with the Pali text. In this situation, the present generation, we have a great duty to protect this message and bring this message to next generation. That is our great responsibility that never we can avoid. That's the thing that you are doing here. And especially I would like to explain what the Buddha Sasana is. Buddha says, Sampapapa Sakaranam Kusala Sukha Sampada Sajitta Paryodapanam Ekam Buddhan Sasana. Buddhan Sasana, this is the message of the Buddha. What is the message of the Buddha? Buddha Sasana means Buddha's message. What is the Buddha's message? Sampapapa Sakaranam, not to do any evil. Kusala Sukha Sampada, practicing good deeds. Sajitta Paryodapanam, purifying one's mind. Ekam Buddhan Sasana, this is the message of the all Buddhas who appeared in the world. In short. And also in another verse, Buddha says, how do we practice Buddha's message? It cannot be included into three. The first thing is learning. It says, as the learning of dispensation, learning of the Dhamma. The second one is practicing Dhamma. The third one is achieving the Sasana. Learning, practicing, and achieving the Sasana. In this situation, we can divide Sasana into three. On the other side, Sasana consists with the Kripa Gem, the Buddha's enlightenment, the Dhamma, Buddha's message, and also Sangha, the Buddha's noble disciple. These three things are interrelated. Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Among them, the Sangha is the live fact that we can understand Dhamma and we can realize, we can recognize the Buddha. Wherever the Sangha disappears, we are unable to listen to Buddha's message. If we don't listen to Buddha's message, we are unable to recognize who the Buddha is. We have some examples. When we see Afghanistan, Java, Sumatra, Indonesia, Bangladesh, wherever monks disappeared, there are sometimes we can find some big statues, pagodas, temples, but there are no Buddhists. There are no Buddhist followers there. In this situation, Buddha always encouraged, Buddha always promoted monks. And also one day, Buddha's mother, Prajapati, when she came to offer some rocks to the Buddha, Buddha said, Sangye Gotami Devi, Sangye Gotami Devi. Gotami, please give this to Mahasangha. If you give something to Mahasangha, it belongs to me too. In this situation, we can understand how Buddha explained the value of Sangha. And also, that is why our Buddhist community, our Buddhists always is present, the Sangha. That is why our forefathers, especially in Sri Lanka, actually, when Buddhism came to Sri Lanka, King Devanagari was the ruler in Sri Lanka. After he listened to Dhamma, first time, he cleaned 62 rock caves at Mihisala in Dhammagaru. And also, first time in Sri Lanka, he offered these 62 rock caves to the Mahasangha as presents. After that, he offered Mahamega Manodhyana, the path of Mahamevana in Dhammagaru to the Mahasangha. And And also in Gamini, Dudugamu, he built a very special residence for the monks. What is that? It is the lower Mahaprasadi with the 7 stairs. Our great king Dudugamu built the marvelous residence for the monks. Very first stair, there were monks who are Tripitaka. And also little by little, then they go upstairs, the upper level. The highest stair, the Arhantas were there, like Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arhanta, like that. You know, when we see these places, sometimes someone may think that, why do we need this kind of buildings and temples? Actually, we need these things. And also, when people come to here, they can not only enjoy seeing these places, but they can develop their spirituality to the maximum level. And also, they can understand the Dhamma. And also, they can understand who the Buddha is. Buddha says very clearly, Yo Dhammam Passati, So Mam Passati, Yo Mam Passati, So Dhammam Passati. He who sees the Buddha, he who sees the Dhamma sees me, the Buddha. He who sees me, the Buddha, sees the Dhamma. We recognize, we understand the Buddha throughout listening to Dhamma. This is the place that we have to listen to Dhamma. And that is why we should build these kind of places for Buddhists, not only for Buddhists, but all the people who are wishing their well-being. And you know, in the current society, Buddha's teachings are very important in this world. When we see some researches of psychiatrics last 4-5 decades, they explain the importance of practicing loving kindness and mindfulness. You know, Buddha says very clearly, Yantam Santam Padam Abhisamekta, Sabbe Sattha Bhavat Sukhidatta. He who wishes to attain the peace of mind has to practice loving kindness. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Not only that, Buddha says, Ekayano ayam bhikkhave maggo sattanam visuddhya so paridavana samadhikamaya dukkha domana sanangathamaya nyaya adhigamaya nibbana saccikiraya yadidani sankaro satipatthana. This is the only path, which is the fourfold mindfulness for the purification of being, for the destruction of sorrow and limitation, for the overcoming of grief and pain, for the understanding of knowledge, for the realization of Nibbana. Buddha has explained on the path mindfulness. You know, mindfulness is more essential, more needed in this world, in this current society. In this situation, Buddha has explained all things before hundreds of years. We are so fortunate having this kind of sublime message. And when you contributed to this kind of places, then you promote this message, and also a lot of people can listen to this Dhamma and they practice Dhamma. The very first thing is, we should listen to Dhamma, we should practice, and we should achieve the results. According to Buddhism, it is very important to understand the Buddha's message. When Buddha attained enlightenment, Buddha realized what is the severe problem of beings who are born in this blissful life. Buddha is saying, what is the most severe problem of people who are born in this world? Buddha realized what is the severe problem of us? The ability to fall into hell. That is the severe problem of everyone. Buddha is saying, what is the heavenly path? How we receive a blissful life? If someone can practice Dhamma, especially Buddha says, going to the triple gem for refuge and practicing 5 precepts is the direct path for a blissful life. If someone has gone for the Buddha for refuge, Dhamma for refuge, Sangha for refuge, then his mind is so pure. Always his mind is with these 3 things. Not only that, as soon as we go to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha for refuge, we follow 5 precepts. Abstaining from taking life, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from stealing, false speech, and also abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs. If someone can practice this path, it means he has an assurance, safety, insurance, protection that he never fall into debt. This is more important than your life insurance. Even though you have a life insurance, you have no guarantee not to fall into hell. But if we can practice this path, we have a real assurance that we never fall into hell. This is the real protection that we have in our life. Not only that, Buddha has explained how we make heaven and also how we make a Brahman realm in this immediate life. If someone can practice Dana, Sila and Bhavana, practicing generosity, practicing virtue and practicing especially loving kindness is the path that we can develop our spirituality and also that we can develop our inner peace. Buddha says, Siti Mudahan Viddhati Dhatram. He who practices Dhamma gains a very special happiness in his own life. Not only that, he who practices 5 precepts, he is so happy, he has no regret in his life. Not only that, if someone can practice loving kindness in his life, may all beings be very happy and peaceful, then his mind is so pure and calm. How do we make a refuge here? Buddha says, Susukhamvata jivama verini svavelino verini sumanasyesu viharama velino. Let's live happily without anger among the people, those who are angry. That is the way how we overcome anger. Anger is one of the main reasons that we suffer. Again, Buddha says the other defilement is that craving or attachment. Buddha says, Susukhammata jivama usukesu anusukam usukesu manuskesu viharamanusukam. Let's live without seeking sensual pleasure among the people, those who are seeking sensual pleasure. Again, Buddha says, Susukhammata jivama aturesu anatura. Aturesu manuskesu viharama anatura. Let's live happily. Let's live with happiness without mental illnesses among the people, those who are mentally ill. That is the way how we show our skillfulness. Sometimes you may think that if you are well educated, if you are very rich, if you are very beautiful, you are successful. Sometimes you may think that if your children are well educated, if they have gone for very famous universities, you are successful. That is also one of the successes, but the real success, real skillfulness, proficiency that we acquire in our life is, according to what the Buddha taught, is that among the people, those who are angry, we are not angry. Among the people, those who are seeking sensual pleasure, we are generous. We are not seeking sensual pleasure. Among the people, those who are mentally ill, we are mentally healthy. Not only that, Buddha says, Susukhammata jivama yesanno nati kinsanam pitibakha bhavithama deva avasarayata. Let's live happily like radiant divine beings without any impediment, any defilement. Buddha has explained the way how we make a Brahma realm in this immediate life. If we have this happiness, success, actually we encourage our close relatives and friends. If you know the results of practicing Dana, Sila and Bhavana, you can see the immediate results in this immediate life. Not only you should practice, but you should encourage others to practice this path. I think, especially I see, and Dr. Wolf always he practices generosity. Not only he practices generosity, he always encourages us to practice generosity. He has succeeded his life because of practicing this path. And he invites us to practice this path. And you also can see the results that I received, like I received. Actually, that is a good example. That is a good friendship. Sometimes we practice this, but it is we don't invite others. We don't encourage others. This is the real friendship, noble association, Kalyana Mitra. Buddha says, when we practice this path, we can see the immediate results. Especially according to Buddha's message, when we practice this meritorious deeds, we can receive 4 results, 4 benefits in this immediate life. They are Ayu, Vanno, Sukham, Balam. Ayu means longevity. Vanna means good complexion. Sapa means comfort. And Bala means strength. When we see this audience, Dr. Voltage is very old, physically. But I think that I am sure that when he worked in this meritorious deed, I saw that he is the youngest person in this community. Actively, he is so young. He taught his youngest that's a good example for everyone. As Bhante Dhammagaru mentioned, sometimes he called Bhante Dhammagaru at midnight. Sometimes he came early morning, 5:30, 5 o'clock, having some peace to the temple with a good smile. Actually, he mentioned, he thought that this place is his own home. That is why he received this kind of beautiful place. We should appreciate him. Not only we should appreciate him, he doesn't like it, we appreciate him. He needs that we also practice this path. Not only practicing this path, he invites us to receive the results in this immediate life. When we practice this Dhamma, more than 60% results we can see in this immediate life. I see, Dr. Walter, you have experience. Actually, he practiced this path not only in the future, in his entire life. He practiced this path, not only that, he went to the upper level in the society, and also he gave a good example for everyone. Like that, if we have this understanding, if we practice Dhamma, we can see the results in this immediate life, and also we especially encourage our close relatives and friends. Not only that, if we have only son or daughter, then we have ready to offer our only son or daughter for the longevity of the dispensation of the Buddha. That is why our forefathers in Sri Lanka, when they fed their children, they had a dream. What is the dream? Their dream was that their best child they wanted to offer to the Sasana for the longevity of the dispensation of the Buddha. That is why we receive this kind of valuable message, especially Buddha's early message. We receive the result of the service of our forefathers in Sri Lanka. And when they have a very beautiful, wise, good disciplined child, they wanted to offer that child to the Sasana. That is why now in the current society we have this sublime truth. Not only that, Buddha says very special thing, don't be the last person of the dispensation. It means don't give the chance to disappear this mandate in your lifetime. This is like a relay. You have received the baton from our forefathers, and now the baton is in our hand. We have a great duty to hand over this baton to the next generation. That is the thing that you are doing here. When we see this beautiful place, we can understand you are fulfilling your duty best. Actually, end of our life, not only end of our life, our entire life, when you remember this meritorious days, you can be happy. Your generosity, your dedication, your contribution. Not only that, we can experience the Arahanta experience if we can practice the Buddha's message in the supra-mundane level. With the understanding of the divine origination, Buddha says, as an intelligent person, as a wise person, the highest thing that we have to practice is that samatha and vipassana. Concentration or samadhi and wisdom vipassana. Concentration with the awareness, with the mindfulness, if we can keep our attention in the present moment with a positive thought, such as loving kindness, generosity, breathing meditation, these are the techniques that we can practice to concentrate our mind in the present moment. You know, according to Buddhism, the duration of concentration is our highest skill, like GPA, grade point average. Buddhist GPA, grade point average, is that the duration of our concentration. You know, sometimes we can see some people whose GPA and IQ is very high, but they are unable to concentrate their mind at least 1 minute. But according to Buddhism, if we can develop, if we can increase the duration of concentration, it means our GPA or IQ, intelligent portion, is very high. Not only GPA or IQ, Buddhism says, but Buddhism says EQ to emotional portion. What is the Buddhist EQ? Buddhist EQ is then the duration of reflecting on impermanence, arising and ceasing of our mind and body. Every moment, 5 aggregates, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Rupa forms, Vedana feelings, Sanya perception, Sankhara mental formations, and Vijnana consciousness. These 5 things are the reality of our life. These things are the bottom level of our life. Every moment these 5 things arise together and they immediately cease together. But our ignorance, our delusion doesn't believe it. Our ignorance always says that it is permanent. Actually it is impermanent. The experience that we receive at the moment arises at the moment, it immediately ceases. The silver line in Buddhism is that the silver sentence in Buddhism, the golden sentence in Buddhism is that ahutva samudam hutva nabhavisati. Not being occurred comes to occurrence, being occurred will not go to occurrence. Not being occurred comes to occurrence, being occurred will not go to occurrence. This is the reality of our entire life. Our entire life is our 6 senses and 6 external objects. This is our entire life. Actually, our entire life is the present thought. If we can succeed our present thought, we can succeed our entire life. As the Buddhist followers, if we can listen to this sublime truth, and also if we can practice and receive the immediate results, then actually we are the fortunate people in this world. If we have this understanding, we are ready to give this message to the next generation. That is our duty. That is the unavoidable duty, responsibility given by our forefathers in our shoulders. We are unable to overcome this responsibility. By practicing Dhamma, having the result, and we have to hand over this message to next generation. In this situation, offering this kind of place to the triple gem is not a place that you offer to an individual person. You contributed to here that for the longevity of the dispensation of the Buddha Sasana. And whatever you offer to here, it means you offer everything for the longevity of the Buddha Sasana. And also you can be happy. When you see this place, you can understand, you can be happy. This is one of the results of my effort. And one day, you can be more happier than your other works. And also not only in this life, after having a blissful life, hereafter, one day living in a blissful life like heavenly realm, we can be happy in this place, like the millionaire Anatha Pendika Setutuma was happy. He says, Idam Sanjetavanan, Isi Sanganisesam, Autan Dhammagaru, Piti Sanjana Mama. I am so happy seeing this place, Jetvanarama, that I offered to the Mahasangha, where the Supreme Buddha and monks are living. Like that from today, the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha are going to be living here. And every moment, a person offers a flower under this roof, that merits go to you too. And also anyone acquires some positive thought and make a blissful life, that merit goes to you too. Then you can be happy as the great sons, great new present generation of our forefathers of Sri Lanka, and also there are other communities too. All of you can be happy, especially all countries in the world respect Sri Lankan Buddhism, especially Sri Lankan monks. Why is that? Because Sri Lankan monks protected the early Buddhism, and also they wrote this message in palm leaves, and also they brought this message for 2,300 years. In this situation, all of you can be happy, and also you can contribute to this great meritorious act. Forever you can be happy. For that, I wish you all the best. By the power of this great meritorious deed, may all beings who are wishing merits throughout this great meritorious activity, let's transfer these merits to everyone, those who are needed in medicine, by reciting the Gatha. Idam nyate nam hoto sukhita honto nyatayo. Idam nyate nam hoto sukhita honto. Idam nyate nam hoto sukhita honto nyatayo. By the power of all these meritorious deeds, may guardian deities and angels also receive this great merit. May they enhance their divine energy. May they keep their eye on you too. May they protect you. May they also attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's transfer these merits to guardian deities and angels too, reciting the Gatha. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanagam punyantam anumo chiram rakkantu sasanam. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahindika punyantam anumoditva chiram rakkantu desanam. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahindika Punyantam anumoditva chirang rakkantu tvam sada. I think here we especially appreciate the service of Bhante Dhammagaru. I think first time he found this place in internet. After he finding this place, as soon as he saw this place in internet, he called Dr. Jasin, and from that day until buying this place, his effort was a big shadow behind everything. If monks were not here, we are unable to buy this kind of things. Monks always encourage you to do it, but the difference of the monks in this temple is that we are only residence monks, and from time to time we go to another temple. That is the tradition of monks of Bhikkhu Training Center of Maharagama. And one time we do some service in a particular place, we leave that place and we go to another place. However, Bhante Dhammagaru has given a good example for the community, and also this temple has helped other temples too, other monks too, and also especially I would like to say you that even though you come here, if you go to another temple, now please go to those temples and please contribute to other temples too, and that is your duty. That is the thing that we should tell as Christian monks, and we should help other monks too who are around this area. And we always encourage you to go to your own temple, that you have a temple in this area, and please help other monks too. And while we are succeeding in this temple, we help other monks too. That is our duty, our nature. Okay, in this very great moment that you can be happy forever, in this moment you acquired a lot of positive thoughts. See, in this place, this is the holy place from today where the Supreme Buddha and his Dhamma and his Sangha live. And coming here, you can acquire positive thoughts, you can develop your spirituality to the maximum level, and also you can transfer merits to your departed relatives too, acquiring positive thoughts here. And also especially, we transfer merits to everyone, those who are invisible around this area, and by rejoicing with this great merit, may they help us, may they also attain the final bliss of liberation. With this positive thought, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May your all righteous wishes meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain the final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkham pantāca nindukkham, bhayam pantāca nibhayam, sokam pantāca nissokam, hontu sabbe pipānino. Dukin pelena sat, dukin midetva, bien pelena sat, bienati vetva, sovin tevena sat, somnas vetva, nitin me hama sat, suapat vetva. For the blessings be with you, may the triple gem bless you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.